Most people think they know America. They see the sprawling cities, a vibrant tapestry of steel and light. They drive the endless highways that stitch the country together, a map of familiar routes and well-trodden paths. It's an America of postcards and headlines, a nation defined by its noise and its speed. They're wrong, utterly and beautifully wrong. Because beyond the concrete horizons and the glow of civilization lies another country entirely, a secret America. Hidden beyond the cities are places so beautiful, so profoundly strange, they almost don't seem real. Landscapes that defy logic and ignite the imagination. Here, the earth speaks in a language of color, texture, and impossible scale. These are not destinations on a map, but portals to another world, waiting patiently for those who know where to look. Some of these wonders are fleeting, existing for only a few weeks each year. A brief, explosive chorus of wildflowers on a desert floor that was barren just a month before. Or the ephemeral architecture of ice, where frozen bubbles form crystalline chandeliers just beneath the surface of a remote mountain lake. These are moments of magic, here and then gone, a reminder that the wild heart of the continent is always in motion. Others have remained almost unchanged for thousands of years. Sentinels of time, they have witnessed the rise and fall of mountains, the slow crawl of glaciers, and the silent turning of the stars. Tonight, we leave the familiar world behind. We go in search of the extraordinary. This is a journey where each place makes the last feel ordinary, and where wonder keeps unfolding, layer by impossible layer. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepares you for what comes next. This is where the landscape changes completely, where the rules of geology seem to have been rewritten by a dreamer, and where the night sky, free from the glare of a billion city lights, remembers how to dream. It is a darkness that is not empty, but full of stories, of distance, and of time itself. Most travelers never continue beyond this point. They reach the edge of the map, the end of the paved road, and they turn back, content with the beauty they have seen. But the greatest secrets are reserved for those who press on. There is one place in America that almost nobody photographs correctly. It's not about the lens or the light. It's about perspective. It demands more than a quick snapshot. It asks for your patience, your stillness. We will find that perspective. But first, we must follow the water. It is the lifeblood of this arid land, the artist that carves the stone, the guide that leads to the hidden chambers of the earth. From stone and fire to forest and ocean, this is America, unfiltered. A land of raw power and delicate beauty, where the planet's oldest stories are written in the landscape for all to see, if only they know how to read them. Our journey begins here, where the land is carved by time itself, where a single glance can span a billion years of geologic history. Stand at the edge and you can hear silence speaking. It's a profound quiet, filled with the weight of eons. It tells of ancient seas, of mountains razed and eroded to dust, of a world that existed long before us and will remain long after we are gone. 100 lifetimes of storms have passed through this canyon, and still the river keeps its promise, patiently, relentlessly, continuing its work of shaping the world. In these ancient places, what most visitors miss is the simple act of looking up. They are so focused on the path ahead, they forget the cathedral of giants towering above them, filtering the sunlight into 1,000 shifting patterns. The canyon teaches patience. It teaches you to slow down, to breathe, to simply be present. The reward is always in the next breath, the next shift of light, the next moment of quiet awe. But the next destination makes this look almost small. We journey to a silent city of stone, an amphitheater of spires that seems to have been built for an audience of gods. Here, you see stone not as a solid but as a fluid, sculpted by light and time, wind and water into forms that seem to dance and flow. We descend into the earth, into Antelope Canyon. Down here, time is measured in sunbeams, They last only for minutes, painting the canyon walls with a divine, fleeting light. The awe, however, lasts for years. Most people stop here, believing they have seen the pinnacle of this region's beauty. We won't. The canyon is a gateway, not a final destination. Ahead, the horizon wears a crown, a mesa standing in regal isolation, catching the last rays of the setting sun. It is a throne in a kingdom of rock and sky, and when night arrives, it is not an ending, but a beginning. The ancient stories, carried on the cool desert air, return. The stars are not just points of light, but characters in a celestial drama that has played out above this land for millennia. But nothing prepares you for the valley of stone and water we enter next. It is a place of impossible contrasts, where the harshest rock cradles the softest element, creating a sanctuary of life in the heart of the desert. Our journey has just begun. Keep watching. The best is still ahead. Yosemite is where granite learned to breathe. In spring, waterfalls speak in thunder. In summer, the walls hum with courage. Autumn lays gold at the feet of giants, and winter teaches stillness. Most tourists look up, look down. Beauty here hides at the scale of a breath, and at the scale of a continent. But the Sierra has a secret to the east, alien towers of mineral and light. Glaciers carve these ribs of earth. A volcano unmade itself to make a jewel. Trees older than empires, still listening to wind. In winter, Tahoe is light held in ice. In summer, a window into stone. Beyond this ridge, the world changes again. Follow the rivers west, into forests that teach humility, what you miss when you rush. The miracle's underfoot, and the sea arrives not with a line, but with a breath. The next bend makes this look ordinary. Roads that feel like they were sketched by water. Worlds inside worlds. A waterfall that forgets land. And a horizon that refuses to end. But far to the north, a rainforest holds a quieter thunder. Most travelers never continue beyond this point. We will, and the story deepens. Our journey begins where the continent meets the sea, in a cathedral of rain and wood. This is a place that grows silence, a quiet so profound you can feel it in your bones. It's the silence of centuries, held within the heartwood of giants that were ancient when our maps were blank. Here, in the temperate rainforests of the Pacific Northwest, time is not measured in minutes or hours, but in the slow, deliberate unfurling of a fern frond, in the patient spread of moss across stone. Life here moves like rain, constant and generous. It seeps into the soil, nourishes the roots, and sustains a world of almost impossible green. Every surface is a testament to this abundance, a canvas for life in its most patient forms. The air itself feels alive, thick with the scent of damp earth and decaying leaves, the smell of creation itself. This is the engine of the forest, a slow, quiet cycle of decay and rebirth that fuels a staggering diversity of life, much of it hidden from a casual glance. Where forest meets ocean, edges blur. The salt-laced wind sculpts the trees, and the forest floor is littered with the gifts of the tide. It is a landscape of negotiation, a constant conversation between two powerful forces. The land does not surrender to the sea, nor does the sea conquer the land. Instead, they find a rugged, beautiful equilibrium, a coastline that has been shaped by millennia of storm and calm, a place where every cove and headland tells a story of resilience. We leave the coast and travel inland, climbing towards the sky. The damp green of the rainforest gives way to the sharp, clear air of the high country. For a few fleeting weeks each summer, the mountain blooms like a secret kept too long. After months, buried beneath a heavy blanket of snow, the alpine meadows erupt in a riot of color, a frantic and beautiful race to reproduce before the cold returns. It is a celebration, a defiant gesture against the harshness of the environment. This landscape is a testament to a violent past, a perfect circle born from collapse. A mountain that once stood tall now holds a lake of impossible purity. This is Crater Lake, a scar left by an eruption so powerful it defies imagination. The water that fills it is a collection of rain and snow, gathered over centuries, so deep and clear it absorbs all but the deepest blue light. To gaze into its depths is to feel the immense power of the earth and the quiet that follows. But the earth's violence is not always in the distant past. Fire writes fast. Time edits slowly. What seems like utter destruction is, in the long view of the forest, a necessary act of renewal. Fire clears the undergrowth, opens the canopy to sunlight, and returns nutrients to the soil. It is a brutal but essential part of the cycle. And in its wake, life returns with a startling tenacity. The first green shoots to pierce the ash are a promise that the forest will endure. Water answers every question stone asks. With infinite patience, it finds the weakness in the rock, the fault lines, the fractures. What begins as a trickle becomes a torrent, and over eons, a river can carve a canyon. It is a dialogue between the fluid and the solid, a slow, relentless argument that water always wins. The stone provides the canvas, but the water is the artist, sculpting a landscape of breathtaking scale and intricacy. But beyond these forests, an empire of ice waits. We have reached the crown of the continent, the Rocky Mountains. Here, water takes on its most powerful form. These are the great glaciers, rivers of ice that shape this entire landscape, carving out valleys and sharpening peaks. They are the architects of these mountains, the last remnants of a colder world. A glacier is a memory of winter that refuses to end. It is snow that fell centuries ago, compressed by the weight of its own history into a dense, flowing mass. To stand in its presence is to feel a chill that is more than just temperature. It is the chill of deep time. But this memory is fading. These great bodies of ice are shrinking, their meltwater a bittersweet offering to the valleys below, a stark reminder that even the most permanent seeming features of our world are in a state of constant and accelerating change. To traverse this landscape is to accept its terms. We follow a road carved into the sky, a human thread woven through an immense and indifferent geology. And we are not the only ones who have adapted. Life here is sure-footed. The mountain goat, a creature of stone and air, moves with an impossible grace on ledges that would terrify us. They are the true masters of this vertical world, a living embodiment of the resilience required to exist at the edge of the world. The melting ice gives one last gift to the mountains, meltwater as blue as a whispered secret. The color comes from rock flour, fine ground sediment from the glacier's slow journey, suspended in the water. It is the very essence of the mountain, dissolved and offered up to the sun. These lakes are reservoirs of cold and color, holding the story of the peaks and their depths. In nights so clear, the stars seem nearer than sleep. Far from the glow of cities, the sky reclaims its majesty. The Milky Way spills across the darkness like a river of diamonds. Here, you can see the universe as it was meant to be seen, a spectacle of staggering beauty and scale that reminds us of our own small place within it. We have traveled from the silence of the forest to the heart of the stone, from the edge of the sea to the roof of the continent. And now we look up and journey outward. Kauai is an old song the ocean never forgets. Stone teeth softened by green and time. The line between sea and sky blurs. What most miss? The quiet valleys inland. Above the clouds, new worlds begin. Patience unlocks every turn. The ocean writes tiny stories too, but far to the north, the Pacific wears a crown of ice. On clear days, Denali doesn't rise. It materializes, lives measured in seasons, not schedules. Ancient blue speaking in fractures, cold that tastes like origin. The sky learns to move, from ice to fire in one breath. A place of heat that makes color sing softly. Wind sculpts time into waves. The next destination only exists for a few weeks each year. Gypsum snow in the heart of the desert, and then America changes its accent. Mountains so old they've learned to be soft. For a few nights each year, the forest breathes in rhythm, a ribbon of color laid across a whispering spine. What most miss? Listening? A dream of trees that decided to walk on water. Tiny pilots, ancient roots. Most travelers never continue beyond this point. Sand holds back an ocean with grace and grit. Maine meets the Atlantic with its chin up. The day arrives here early, hungry for color. People who know tides better than clocks. Even the beacons rest between breaths. South, where the ocean learns to be a quilt of blues. The Florida Keys, a necklace the sea refuses to lose. Softest hearts in glass-clear water, a slow river as wide as imagination. Color where you least expect it. Later we'll stand where sand sings under stars. When daylight leaves, the land keeps speaking. In languages older than maps. What most miss? Turning all the lights off. Stone windows that promise a better dawn. Stories carved to outlast storms. An ocean petrified mid-wave. But the next landscape barely seems possible. This is the place almost nobody photographs correctly. Shoot at the edges. Wait for wind. Let steam paint the frame. Earth's calendar written in clay. Every passing cloud rewrites the story. Deserts are not empty. They are precise. Morning will forget we were here. The story isn't over. It's about to lift off the ocean, where cliffs and light make the final promise. America isn't defined by its biggest cities. It's defined by places like these. Places that remind us how rare breath is, how patient stone can be, how generous light is when you wait for it. From ice to stone, to oceans that keep our secrets, and forests that keep our stories. The map is only the beginning. America isn't defined by its biggest cities. It's defined by places like these. Places that remind us just how extraordinary our planet really is. And how lucky we are to walk it. Stay curious. The road keeps going. Next, we'll go where sand sings and mountains float. If this moved you, share the journey. Before we begin this journey, I want to share a thought about the film you are about to see. We chose a title for it, The America Most Tourists Never Truly See. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's the very heart of our philosophy. So many of us visit incredible places, but we see them through a window, a screen, or from a crowded viewpoint. We collect photos, but do we collect moments? We check off a list, but do we connect with the land itself? This film is an invitation to go deeper. It's about stepping away from the noise and the rush, to find the quiet, profound beauty that exists just beyond the beaten path. It's about experiencing these landscapes not as attractions, but as living, breathing entities, full of stories, power, and a silence that speaks volumes. This is a journey into the soul of a continent, a side of America that asks for your patience, your presence, and your sense of wonder. It's the America that waits for you when you put the map away and simply look. To capture this feeling, we crafted a description that serves as our mission statement, a promise to you, the viewer. It begins, journey beyond the cities into the America that feels unreal. We wanted to create a stark contrast to the concrete and steel that defines modern life, to transport you to places that challenge your sense of scale and possibility. From the moment the film opens, you'll be immersed in these otherworldly realms. We travel from Yosemite's granite cathedrals where stone giants touch the sky, to Kauai's emerald cliffs, which plummet dramatically into the Pacific. We'll guide you from Glaciers' mirrored lakes, so still and perfect they seem like portals to another world, to the desert's starlit silence, where the sheer immensity of the cosmos is laid bare. This premium cinematic documentary follows one continuous story across the most breathtaking destinations in the United States. It's a single, flowing narrative, not a collection of disconnected postcards. Each location builds on the last, creating a cumulative sense of awe. The film is crafted for wonder, not trivia. We intentionally avoided statistics and dry facts. Instead, it weaves the grand forces of geology, the intimate lives of wildlife, the relentless cycle of the seasons, and the quiet strength of human resilience into a moving portrait of a continent. Our goal is to evoke emotion, to make you feel the biting wind, the warm sun, and the ancient pulse of the land. Shot in Ultra HD with sweeping drone flights, immersive time lapses, and slow, deliberate cinematic reveals, the film builds emotion from the first frame to the last. Every shot is designed to pull you in, to let you breathe with the landscape. We invite you to stay for the mysteries, the light, and the places most travelers miss. We encourage you to watch with good headphones, to lose yourself not just in the visuals, but in the subtle, rich soundscape of the wild. To guide you through this continental tapestry, we've structured the film into distinct chapters, each with its own theme and emotional arc. The journey begins with our opening America Unreal, setting the stage for the epic scale of what's to come. From there, we delve into stone, water, fire, Yosemite to Sierra, exploring the raw, elemental power that shaped California's high country. Next, we travel north in rain and stone, Pacific Northwest to Rockies, a chapter dedicated to the moody, dramatic landscapes of Washington, Oregon, and Montana. Then we make a dramatic leap in islands and ice, Hawaii to Alaska, contrasting the volcanic fire and lush life of the Pacific Islands with the immense frozen grandeur of the far north. We then journey east to Blue Horizons, Appalachia to Acadia, capturing the ancient rolling beauty of the Blue Ridge Mountains and the rugged coastline of Maine. Our path then turns to the vast, arid heart of the country, in Desert Stars, Southwest Night to Surreal, a chapter that explores the otherworldly rock formations and celestial wonders of Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. Finally, we conclude with The Last Light, epic ending on the coast, a meditative and powerful farewell that brings our continental crossing to a close against the setting sun. In the digital world, finding this film is the first step of the journey. We've carefully chosen our tags to act as signposts for fellow seekers of beauty. These are more than just keywords. They are a map of the experiences contained within. We started with broad strokes: America travel and national parks, for everyone dreaming of an adventure. Then we get specific, naming the titans of the West: Yosemite, Grand Canyon, Zion, Bryce Canyon, and Arches. We included the crown of the continent, Glacier National Park, and the jewel of the Pacific, Kauai. We mapped the dramatic coastline of Big Sur and the temperate rainforests of Olympic National Park. We tagged the volcanic majesty of Mount Rainier and Crater Lake and the humbling ancient giants of the Redwoods. We ventured into the extremes of Death Valley and the dreamlike dunes of White Sands. And we didn't forget the soulful ancient beauty of the East, with Great Smoky Mountains, the iconic Blue Ridge Parkway, the coastal splendor of Acadia, and the tropical escape of the Florida Keys. Each tag is a portal to a memory, a dream, a destination waiting. Finally, how do you capture a 30-minute journey in a single frozen moment? The thumbnail. It's the cover of the book, the first impression. We explored 10 concepts, each trying to distill the film's essence. 1. The golden serrated ridge of Nepali, with the bold text, America's Beauty. Simple, powerful. 2. A high-angle sunrise over Horseshoe Bend, captioned, You won't believe this, speaking to the surreal nature of the view. 3. A dramatic storm break over Yosemite's tunnel view, labeled Unreal America, capturing the film's core theme. 4. An oblique angle of the Grand Prismatic Spring, its steam catching the light, paired again with America's beauty. 5. The iconic McWay Falls meeting the Pacific at sunset in Big Sur, another vision of Unreal America. 6. A perfect mirror reflection of a mountain in a Glacier Lake at Alpenglow, promising a sight you won't believe this. 7. The timeless silhouettes of Monument Valley at dawn, a classic image of America's beauty. 8. The first light hitting the hoodoos of Bryce Amphitheater, another moment of unreal America. 9. The ethereal God rays filtering through the canopy of the redwoods, a wide shot simply titled America's Beauty. And 10. The stark, serene landscape of white sands at twilight, with a crescent moon hanging in the sky, a final, quiet promise. You won't believe this. Each one is a doorway, and now it is time to step through.